Peter Racy has called in, a long-time fan of big events, including World Expo 88. I'm sensing maybe the Olympic and the Commonwealth Games as well. Morning, Peter.
Good morning, Rebecca.
What's your reaction to Dan Andrews saying Victoria will not be hosting the 2026 Commonwealth Games?
This is an example when one-upmanship, when Dan Andrews decided to have a bit of a go at Anastasia Palaszczuk, did a back-of-the-envelope estimate of what it was going to cost, the same way as our dear Premier did the estimate of the Gabba upgrade, and it's come back to bite him. And it will absolutely do untold damage to Australia's reputation as a sporting nation, as an economic powerhouse, and as a front of international diplomatic relations. And it is the same argument that can be used as to why we shouldn't walk away from our commitment to the Olympic Games. The issue in relation to the Gabba is what's really got everyone hot under the collar, which is just a criminal shame, because if we are going to keep the opening round of the Ashes and every other great cricketing series that comes to Australia, we need an upgrade. If we are going to keep a viable and a very competitive AFL sporting code going in Queensland, we need the Gabba upgrade. It had absolutely nothing to do with the Olympics. It had everything to do with Anastasia wanting to do over Morrison in the lead up to a federal election. And it is just going to come back and haunt us for years to come as people get cold feet about the Olympics, which is an absolute incredibly vital component of making Brisbane an international city on a permanent basis.
Well, a lot of politics in sport and a lot of sport in the politics of what you've raised there. Peter, thank you. We'll keep in touch.
Is the number. Peter Racy, you've got some ideas about how you feel. What would you say to Premier Daniel Andrews?
Well, my favourite ABC presenter, I can say, I think Daniel Andrews has been caught out using a beer coaster estimate to justify hosting the games in the first place. And it is going to be incredibly expensive for Australia's reputation as a trustworthy host nation of really any international event. And it's just an absolute crying shame that he used such an estimate to get one up over Anastasia Palaszczuk, because at the end of the day, that's what it was all about. He wanted desperately to keep the title, the sporting capital of Australia, went all out, and it's blown up in his face.
Peter Racy. We'll have to leave it there on ABC Radio Brisbane and Queensland. Thank you very much. We'll continue to take your calls after the news on ABC Brisbane and Queensland. It is 2:00.